Hola and welcome to Lindita's Kitchen. I am Lindita and today I'm going to be fixing up some arroz con pollo. Sí, arroz con pollo. It's a family traditional recipe. And also some gorditas, okay, Lindita style. So you're going to have to stick around to see what that's all about. And of course, a wonderful fresh salad. So let's start out with our gallina, el pollo, no? Let's get cooking. So I've already started up the water to a medium heat. And this is where I add my chicken. And I'm going to use the whole chicken. And you can have it skinned or you can, have it with the skin. And I prefer actually to have it with the skin. Only because that's where you get, your broth. And it is so good. So we're going to toss all these in there. Just like that. And you can use any type of, the chicken, you can just use the thighs or the drumsticks or the breasts. It's really totally up to you. And it's up, I like the whole chicken. And so I'm tossing it all in there. Just like that. And then I'm going to turn it up. I'm going to turn it up to a slight boil. Okay, and this is a good time to add, my sister actually introduced me to this. It's a Knorr. It's instead of using the cubes, you go ahead and use 2 teaspoons of this. And it's amazing. It's for caldos, it's got already the tomato base in there with the little garlic and some of the seasoning. So I'm gonna go ahead and just toss that in there. Let's stir it up. Así. And you wanna bring this to a boil and then cut it down and let it cook for about 45 minutes. Okay, so let's cover it up and get it going. And let's just start chopping. Okay, so we're gonna start out with our bell pepper. There's bell pepper, we got a tomato, we've got an onion. So we're gonna clean this out. Okay, and for this recipe, let me tell you, I love the green pepper. Okay, so you can be really generous with this, okay? And I use all of it. So we're gonna dice that up. It doesn't have to be in real small pieces, just to your liking. Like I said, this recipe, you can take some of which I'm gonna do a little bit there. And then we're gonna just dice this up. I love the smell of fresh bell pepper. And the red has a sweeter taste to it too. So if you like red, go ahead and do that. And just chop that up nice. So we're gonna put this in a bowl to the side because we're gonna add that. All right. Then we've got 2 celery sticks. Let's clean the tips off. And just go ahead and dice those. It's a little machine. Así. Hear that crunch? And the flavors are just amazing, as you'll see. Arroz con pollo. It's not just for the winter. It's anytime. I mean, we cook this up every time. And let me tell you, my mother would also, you had a cold, guess what? We didn't have chicken noodle soup. We had arroz con pollo. Yep, sure did. We do a tomato. Again, I think I gave you a little lesson. I'll give you another lesson here. You want to dice your tomato, and so it won't fall apart. You want to just go ahead, and just go across 3 to 4 times. Might get a little, because this is a big tomato, and I love tomato in my caldito, Or they say sopa también, So it's either just like that, and then we're just gonna go ahead and just dice it up a little bit more over at the end. But see how it all kind of stayed together? Yeah, my mom had all kinds of little tricks. Tenchita. She was known for Tenchita, Hortensia. We had names. She had all kinds of nicknames, that girl. And I like my arroz con pollo pretty full, so there you go. Let me just take some of this juice off a little bit. Just to the side. And then we have our onion. So again, you're gonna do the same thing. We wanna keep the end together. Then you're gonna go ahead, and with this is half an onion. The recipe calls for a half an onion. And again, if you love onions, do it. I'll tell you, my son Ian, when he was younger, this is a quick little story. The doctor asked him, "What are you allergic to?" You know, and he said, "Onions." And I know, I have to tell that story because it was so cute. Little did he know, I cook with onions, and it was so cute. No, you're not, mijo. You know, it was so cute. Those memories will never go away. And like I said, we love onions in our family, so this is getting pretty full, so it's all good. Here, let's get you guys up here. Don't run away. All right. And then, last but not least, we have our cloves. Too. Garlic. You know, if you don't have a molcajete, and you've got to get one, but I've had mine for many years. It's my abuelita, mi mamá. And so I love the sound, and I love using it every time I can. I mean, you hear this all the time in my house. Or if you don't have one of these, you know, you can also get a little mincer, you know, use that, or just chop it up. It's all real easy. So we're gonna go ahead and just, hear that sound? Reminds me of my mommy. And mi abuelita y mis tías cooking in the kitchen. Me and Chabela, my sister, my older sister, oh my gosh. We were in the kitchen all the time. And this was my job, and I loved it. I think that's why I end up getting this from my mom. And you want, you know, because it's all stuck in there, no? So you want to add a little water. Put it on the side like that. And you mix it up. So now we're ready to add this to our soup and our rice as well. So there's another trick before this, okay? So let's go over there and brown our rice. So I've got the heat turned up a little bit. I'm gonna add a little oil, and that would be the olive oil. And again, just a little bit, just to coat it. Okay, we're gonna just swirl it around a little bit like that. Then we're gonna pop our rice, and this is the long grain rice, and 1 cup. So you're gonna add that in there, okay? And it's gonna start to brown in a few, so you have to really watch it. Okay, we're gonna just mix it a little bit with the oil. See? So we'll let that brown up a little bit, and let's just check on our chicken here and see how it's all coming along. Oh, yay. It's a nice boil here. It's beautiful. This is gonna feed a whole family, let me tell you. It's nice and toasty, see that? Give it a couple more stirs here before we toss it in. It's popping. Okay, here we go. So let's turn this off. Like that. Now we're gonna add it right to our chicken while it's boiling. See how brown it is? You can do it a little darker if you want, but then you risk the chance of it burning up. You don't want that. Okay, let's toss it right in there. And you do it slowly, because see how it pops out? This is when it's starting to break open as it cooks. Voila. Nice. Perfect. Now that's will cook for another 20 minutes and then the rice will fill. But you know, this is also a good time where you can add all your ingredients. So since I did cut up a lot, it's gonna get pretty full in here, but you'll see it will also evaporate a little bit. So you know, you wanna just get all your veggies in there. And I did do a little extra because we love it. See? And like I said, you know, I love that garlic. The garlic salt, you can also add to it because, you know, it does need a little bit. And of course, we're gonna add our garlic. Hear that sound? And this is a good time to also add about 1.5 teaspoons of your black pepper. And a little bit more. And I'll just throw, for luck, some salt. And we're gonna go ahead and add 1 cup of Linditas. And I'm using the hot salsa tomato mix. Toss that in there. Okay. Give it a nice swirl. Now that's gonna be cooking up for another 20 minutes. Cover it up. So now we're ready to make some gorditas. Okay, so this is a good time to take off all your rings here because you don't want to get them all messed up. So I'm going to put those aside. And what I've used is 2 cups of the masarina, the corn masarina. And we're going to add to that 1/2 teaspoon of the table salt right into it. 1/2 teaspoon. And then 1 teaspoon of the baking powder. All right, we want to mix that up really good, just like that. Then we're going to make a little hole, like a C in the middle. We're going to add it's about 1.5 teaspoons of the oil, and I'm using the olive oil. So we're going to go ahead and put that in there. I've actually warmed this up already. You want it pretty warm for this recipe, okay? So that way everything gets mixed up really good like that. Okay, so now you have about 2 cups. You may not use it. It's really calls for like 1 3/4, but I just want to be safe. That's sorry. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add that in there. See? And I'm going to just start mixing it because it is pretty warm. Okay. So you mix it all up. Oh, this is nice. Okay, it's nice and warm. So I'm gonna go ahead and add the rest of it. And if it gets too, you know, liquidy like, you know, you just add some more. More of the corn mixture in there. So we're gonna mix that all really nice. Clean off the edges. See, and if you use cold water, it just won't fold like this. It just, you can't make it go together. So now that it's getting together like this, okay, I'm gonna take it out of the bowl, clean it off a little bit. You want every little bit of it. Okay, so we're gonna take it out. I'm gonna put my bowl over here for right now. I'm gonna set it on the counter. Then we're just gonna knead it so it gets nice and soft. Wow. You know, when my tias would get together and they'd make all the tortillas and everything like that, their arms are really strong. I know why. But they didn't make like 2 cups. They made like 5 pounds at a time, or even 10. You know, so they were very strong ladies. We didn't want to mess with them. My tia B, Actually, she taught me a lot about cooking. She used to work at a campground when I was growing up as well, and I'd go over there and instead of being with the kids outside, I was in the kitchen with my tia B. Yep, she was amazing. So now, we're gonna put it back in the bowl. Well, actually, what I could do is, I'm gonna show you, because we're gonna take a little bit at a time, and there's different sizes. So what we wanna do is, you wanna roll them up. See, we're gonna have different sizes, and you're gonna see why. in a little bit. So I'm gonna make them bigger and then some smaller, and then you'll see what I'm talking about. So I'll get this process going, and in no time they'll be ready to rock and roll. Nice and round. They're nice and warm, so you know, it just goes really well together. Uno más. Stick them all in the bowl and put a little cover on them, just like this. Toss them in there. They're nice and warm too. We're gonna let them sit for a little bit, and then we'll clean this up and we'll get ready to press. Okay, so we've already covered these up, and it's been about 5 minutes, so you kind of let them rest. And we've got some here. And what we're gonna do is I'm gonna take a couple of these bolitas, and I'm gonna actually pat some down. You know, pat them down, you know, como, not bolitas, but you want them flat like that. And a little puffy, because you're gonna see what happens here in a little bit, okay? And then, so I have different sizes, and there is a reason for that. So we'll get those going. This is the bigger one I want to show you in a little bit. Pat them down. And if you don't want to pat these down, let me tell you, there's a couple things you can do. You can use your rolling pin if you'd like, or a tortilla press. And you can pick these up, and I get mine, I got mine at the carniceria, you know, the Mexican grocery stores, or, you know, I think most of the stores do carry them now. And what you want to do with this process is make sure you have some plastic in between the two. So you want to lay it down, and I'm going to use the bigger ones, and there's a reason for that too. So I'm going to press this, bring it over, just like that, push it down a little bit. And like I said, if you have a rolling pin, if you'd rather do that, go ahead. I love using my little press, so that's one of the reasons. You want it not too flat, but you want them a little on the thicker side. See, because if you didn't have the plastic, it would stick and it would just be a mess. Believe me, I know, I've tried it. You don't want to do that. Okay, we're gonna set some aside. Yeah, I'll do one more, just because it feels good. Mira, beautiful. This is a small one, so I'm gonna go ahead and just pat that one down. Así. And my griddle is gonna get turned on, and let's get them going. Let's make sure that our oil is ready to go. I always throw a little water in there, and it is ready. So before we get going on this, let's check on our chicken really quick. Just make sure everything is going smooth. And it sure is. Look at that. Oh, you want to see the rice here? This is what I was talking to you about. When it's popped, it opens up. Oh, it's beautiful. I'll give it another little stir, and it's ready to go. This has been cooking for about 45 minutes. You can cook it longer, you know, it's totally up to you, but 45 minutes is good. But we'll let it cook a little bit longer because we're gonna get our gorditas going. Okay, so now we have the heat going here in our skillet. You can tell it's nice and warm. We're gonna toss these in. I see. Let me get my spatula. I have a tendency to use my hands a lot, but this is pretty warm. So we want to cook these for about 2 to 3 minutes per side. There you go. Now we can flip. Whoops. they'll cook up for another minute or two. We'll keep checking. Okay, so these are the ones that I did by hand. So we're gonna remove these. This is the way it's supposed to look, just like that. We're gonna remove them and put them on some towels here, drain some of the oil off. Then we're gonna place our larger ones in there that we did with the tortilla press. So we're gonna toss these in there. Oh yeah. So again, we're gonna let them go for about another minute per side, or you can see if it starts to get brown, you'll know when to flip. You can just keep checking too. Let's check the bottom. Almost, yeah. As you can see, they're not taking as long as the hand pressed. Golden brown is what you want. Beautiful. Okay, so I'm gonna put these on the towel as well. Get the rest going. Okay, let's check on our arroz con pollo. Oh my goodness, it is done. It's been cooking for over an hour now. Easily, and this is what it's supposed to look like. Okay, let me pull out some rice. Mira. Oh, yep, it is ready. So we're gonna go ahead and turn this off. Put the lid on it. We're gonna crack it a little bit, and it is done. So now we're gonna move right over here, and we're gonna check on our skillet, and it is nice and hot. Okay, I got a little oil in there. So I went ahead and I did get these a little on the brown side, but there's a reason for this because it's gonna get really golden brown here. So I wanted to add some cheese. And you can use whatever cheese you'd like. You know, queso fresco, I just happen to have this on in my fridge, and I'll use whatever I have. And get a little fancy, you know, and add your own fresh salsa. And of course I'm using Linditas. I'm using the hot salsa mix. Again, you can get this on linditasalsa.com or on Amazon as well, and Nick's Garden Center. So we're gonna go ahead and put the little top on there like that. We're gonna toss it right into the skillet. And it'll melt nice and crisp. So let those cook up a little bit. All right. Now we're gonna flip this over just like that. And try flipping them again if you want. Otherwise, actually the cheese is pretty melted in there. So I'm gonna go ahead and set them on the towel one more time. It's nice and melted, yeah. Now we're gonna start with our little ones. So we're gonna add some cheese. Stick some cheese right in there like that. And a little salsa. Squeeze them a little bit. We'll toss them right into the skillet. Okay, I've got 3 of them for you. So again, whoops, that didn't come off, whoops. Squeeze them up a little bit, toss them in there. Y uno más. Oh, here, just like that. We'll put them in the skillet and get those cooking up as well. Now here, I left this one alone because you can eat it just like this, okay? Or you can, they're just as good bite size. Yum. Can you taste it? Arroz con pollo. Oh, look how beautiful. My mother would be so proud, mamacita. I'm telling you, this is delicious. And you know what I also did is I added some tortilla strips, just to give it that added touch in there as well. And you've got the tortillas hanging around, just go ahead and put them on your comal and then just use your little pizza cutter and serve them up just like that. So we've got our gorditas and it looks beautiful. And of course, you know what we need? Cilantro. Fresh cilantro. And let me give you a little history about this, because all these beautiful vegetables that are right here are from Dahlia Greenhouse, Dahlia Campus. I was a chef there. I taught, and because of the pandemic, we've kind of stopped, but the greenhouse has kept going, and they are just producing like no other, and it's all fresh ingredients. So if you would like to get more information, at the end of our credits, you'll see the number, and you can call them and find out the pricing, because they have not just this, but they also have catfish and tilapia as well that you can order. So they have all their prices on there too. And let me tell you, these beautiful vegetables are just so good and so refreshing. And I'm gonna be honest with you, the cilantro that I get there, for reals, it lasts forever. It's all natural. There's no preservatives. It's amazing. And we'll be going out there this summer, and we're going to be doing some trips out there and just kind of showcasing their location and the kitchen that I was working out of. And once this COVID is done, I may be back there teaching. So you're going to have to stay in touch with us. Okay? Beautiful. So with that, I just want to say thank you so much to my wonderful sponsors. We've got Nick's Garden Center. They've been wonderful. I've got some beautiful displays. And not just that, spring is around the corner, and we're going to be going down there, and we're going to learn how to do some herbs and how to plant them and how to grow them and how to use them. They have a lot of knowledge down there, and they're wonderful. They're gardening. I'll be getting some gardening tips as well, and I'm going to share that with you. So again, I just want to say thank you to Dahlia Campus, and of course my Nick's Garden Center, and all the sponsors that have been, helping us produce this beautiful show for you. And I hope you enjoy it, because you know what? I am. And again, thank you so much. Of course, you can look for Linditas on linditasalsa.com and on Amazon, and also Nick's Garden Center has some down there. So, check us out. We're on YouTube, Instagram. We're out there. And of course, Aurora TV. Thank you so much for having us. Now I'm going to enjoy. Salud y buenos días.